Hello, welcome. This is Storyalysis. I am Chris,
And I'm here.
and this is episode 9 of season 2 of Vinland Saga. One of the best episodes I have ever had the pleasure of experiencing across all forms of television. This was phenomenal. This was an incredible episode. I cannot emphasize enough how much this episode did for me because it's not just like the standalone episode itself that makes it so great. It's the accumulation of every single episode of Vinland Saga that birthed this masterclass episode, and it is fantastic. I don't know it makes me want to go back and read the manga and see how this was done because this was just it was perfection. It was fantastic, beautiful, Pierre, beautiful.
It was beautifully done.
So
That is true.
oh, and it's called Oath. It starts out. We're continuing from the fight in the last episode. Thorfinn's been knocked unconscious, and he drifts into like this fantasy where he believes that everything that he's been through over the past 11 years was just a dream. And meanwhile, in reality, Einar is fighting 1v3 with the retainers. He's able to outlast them, which causes them to like reluctantly concede, and they tell him that there's going to be a heavy punishment heading their way. But then Einar, he just stands there and he declares that he and Thorfinn won. They won the fight. But
Right.
then we shift back to Thorfinn's fantasy, and he's just chilling on the base of a tree. He's taking in the afternoon breeze, and then we see Thor's climbing up the hill, heading towards him. And so we get 3 camera zoom ins on Thor's face, and each zoom in dialed up the weight of Thor's presence. So each zoom dialed up the foreboding energy that was around Thor's. Each zoom increased that feeling of, like, oh no, something very bad is about to happen. Did those zoom ins leave any impact on you? I know you're not one to really focus on camera directions and all that kind of stuff, but did the cinematography of that scene do anything for you, or did it kind of just, or did you kind of just take it in for what it was?
It was more of the words for me, the conversation, than the pictures. He came in. Yeah. The zoom ins didn't do anything for me. It was the words that he spoke once he got to Thorfinn. And so I was like, damn. Like, I see. This means something. That means something. And like, I smell blood. Who did you kill with that
Mm,
knife? Like, oh, you have blood in your hands. Like, you've done bad things. Like, it's not my son. Like, it's like that. That's our. No, that's what I saw. But yeah, but the imagery, I know you would have caught that because you're big on that. so
yeah,
so you.
yeah. The imagery, it was beautiful. Yeah. So Thor's, he says he smells blood. Then the scene in the previous episode where Thorfinn was approaching the child version of Einar, we get a continuation of that scene. And then we
Yep.
see another really masterfully done dream sequence where not only are they interweaving the past with the present, just like they did a couple episodes prior, they're also interweaving this alternate reality that Thorfinn is in right now. That reality where he thinks the past 11 years of his life was a dream.
Right.
And as they're doing this interweaving, the child version of Thorfinn stabs the child version of Einar in the
Right.
neck, and that's the blood that Thor said that he smells. And then Thorfinn's future self catches the child Einar's falling body. And then when Thorfinn turns the head of the boy, all of a sudden, instead of it being a boy, he's the full-grown Einar that Thorfinn has come
Right.
to know. They're really they got this imagery down packed. Like they know what they're doing every step of the way, and it's lovely to just be a spectator to it, to what they're doing.
That
They're
is
really
true.
elevating the source material. I feel like even though I haven't read the manga, I know that it would be extremely hard to do what they're doing in the manga format.
Mm.
I don't know if it can be done in a manga because it's just so tastefully done. The way that they bounce from scene to scene,
Yeah,
and the way that everything ebbs and flows into each other. It's phenomenal.
that is true. That is true. Yeah, with pictures that would be pretty hard because you'd have to keep bouncing back. Yeah, yeah, it would not have the cohesion would not have been perfect. they,
Yeah.
they, did it very nicely actually. Yeah, like kid Thorfinn, kid Einar, just adult.
Hmm.
There's just there's one thing I heard though, not heard. Well, yeah, hearing that's true. Did Thorfinn's voice sound too young for his body in that dream sequence? I don't know if it's because I don't know if it's this light, as in like he's lighter. He's not holding on to the burdens there. I just don't know. His voice sounded very like much like a kid. Like, "Hey, Dad, Dad, you're back." And I'm just like, regular Thorfinn is regular Thorfinn's voice the product of his sorrows. He's down all the time because of his guilt, because of his burdens, because of all the things he's done, because of his constant nightmares. And I think in a way that might be like what that signifies, as in this light, this weight that's lift off when he's in this Vinland like place, put him back to the age he's supposed to be because he was forced to grow up. He was forced to grow up because he was put in a situation that a kid shouldn't be in. So therefore, he matured up too rapidly. So therefore, that place brings him back to the mannerism, voice, attitude of an actual 19-year-old. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking, but I don't know.
Yeah, 100%. Oh yeah, like 100%. That's definitely what's going on here. Because when I think back on season one, when Thorfinn first had that like major time skip where his voice changed, it's like yeah, that he was angry. Every pretty much everything he said was fueled by the anger that he lived with on a day-to-day basis. So when you
Yeah.
remove that anger, yeah, his voice uh is going to get lighter. And the fact that the voice actor did that is
Yeah.
awesome. I don't know if that was the choice of the voice actor or the choice of the director.
Right.
Either way, it was a great choice and one
Very
that can
good
be hard to
choice.
miss.
Very good
Yeah,
choice. Yeah, I was like, is it lighter because of that? But if it was, that's what it is, man.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely. And then yeah, so Thorfinn he starts breaking down over the realization that he killed Einar, and as he's breaking down, Thors is speaking to him, and he says some pretty cryptic stuff, but some pretty intense stuff. He says, I'm sorry, Thorfinn. There was still so much to teach you, but you finally understand now. You don't have any enemies. Nobody has any enemies. So far, I'm pretty sure we haven't talked about what Thor's means by this. And if we did, it probably wasn't as in depth as it could have been, given what we know now. But when he said it in this specific episode,
Yeah.
there is a quote from Shakespeare. You probably heard of it. It's very famous. He says, "There's nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so." So, in a similar vein, I think Thor's what he is always saying, or what he means by saying you have no enemies, nobody does. I think he's alluding to the fact that we're born into this world with no enemies, and it's politics that creates enemies. It's revenge that creates enemies.
Yeah.
It's society that creates enemies.
Correct.
So there's no one who it's okay to hurt. There never was. Because, like Shakespeare said, there's nothing good or bad, only thinking makes it so. It's this philosophy, I feel like it's very much, it shares a lot of similarities with what Shakespeare is saying. And it's something that you have to, when you unravel what he's talking about, you're going to a place that is very enlightened. Did you have any specific thoughts on when he says you have no enemies?
Honestly, where um what you basically just explained is how I took it too. As in, individually, you really don't have any enemies. Like you're fighting for Denmark, you're doing the King of Denmark's bidding against the King of England's bidding. These are two men that want to conquer each other and have a bunch of men with little to no reasons, core reasons, concrete reasons to go and killing innocent people, or to go and fight and give your life away in battle just because somebody want to conquer another land. As in, you don't have any enemies. These are all just made up. Like, these are all, if you take your time and really think about it, someone didn't do anything to you, you didn't do to them. There's no reason enough for you to go after them and make an enemy and make an adversary when it can all just, like Eminem said in No Favors, like, bitch, I'm like your problems, self-made. So so it's like, it's yeah, it's bars. Hey, listen, Marshall Mathers, he's self-made. Although not really, Dre fucking made him. I mean, he was already rapping, but still. But yeah, as in, like, yeah, like, you are the reason for your stuff. Like, if Thorfinn didn't pick up a knife and started killing, probably would. That's different. That's different. He didn't really have a choice. But yeah, that's the sense that I took that in when you don't have any enemies.
Mm. Yeah, it's very very simple words that Thor says, but
Mm-hmm.
you just know that there's so much deep meaning behind it, given the life that he's lived, given the horrors that he's seen, and yeah, and when he tells Thorfinn like you finally understand that you have no enemies, then the hands that we got a glimpse of in the last episode and also in the opening, they're symbolic of the many lives that Thorfinn took over the
Right.
last 11 years. They start dragging him down into the depths, into that hole that he was so desperately trying to cling out of
Right.
before. And then as he's being pulled, he looks over and he sees Thor as he's still standing tall, but he also he's being pulled by a bunch of hands. So that's like the demons
Mm-hmm.
of Thor's, the bodies that he killed.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That feeling of you found out something too late, and that realization, the weight that it puts on you. I felt it in that moment, and it was it. I love the direction of that because it felt very. It felt like I was there with Thorfinn, person. Even though like I never killed anybody, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm.
still the way that they're. Damn. Damn. What do you view me as, Peter? How do you think of me? To question whether or not I killed someone. Oh man, dude.
Oh, it's like, okay, it's a joke, people. It's a joke. He wouldn't hurt a fly unless he wanted to.
Yeah. What? Yeah, they conveyed it so well that I was able to feel every beat they were trying to get across. It was amazing.
But you notice the two different reactions. Like, Thor's is allowing these creatures, the people we've killed, the zombies you've killed, his burdens, to eat him, or Thorfinn is still fighting.
Mm,
So it's like Thor's is conscious that, hey, I did kill a lot of people when I was with the Jones Vikings. Like, and
mm,
before I vowed not to kill again, I was a killer. So for that reason, he's submerged by them, but he's just remaining calm. As in, he's aware that he's killed,
mm,
and he knows that those are his burdens to carry, and it's fine. While you have Thorfinn on the other hand, who's just fighting them still, because he hasn't came to conclusion that I deserve this. Yet,
right.
lucid Thorfinn in real life has been saying, I deserve to die because I've killed. Like, does that mean his subconscious is, although at peace, but at the same time not ready to atone fully? But I don't know.
Mm. Yeah, and another thing on the difference in reaction, the way that Thor's is still standing tall, like above the ground, and he
Yeah.
still has those people clinging to him, but he's not sinking like Thorfinn is. That could be, or that probably is, what it means to be a true warrior for Thor's. It's like you have to if you want to continue living on the surface, you have to walk side by side with these people clinging onto you for the rest of your life because they're never going to go away. Like you
Right.
just have to that's part of your existence now. And you have to be Thor's he climbed his way out already. And now that
Right.
he's at the top, he's just that's what I guess you could say success would look like for for a true warrior
Right.
who's done the things that Thorfinn is doing. So Thorfinn, him being dragged down to that hell, which we'll get to in eventually. That's the beginning path that Thor's also had to take of climbing your way right back up to the top.
Correct.
And you have to carry the weight of all those people who are dragging you down, all those dead people
Correct.
that you killed who are dragging you down.
Yes.
So much going on there, so much, and they compacted it very well.
Literally.
They
No, the symbolism throughout this whole episode, it's insane, man.
it's mind-boggling the levels of talent that go into making something like this, and then because I assume that it was like mainly the author who did this stuff. Like, of course, there's a team of like animators and people who are helping him bring his vision to life. But I imagine it all this idea and how it's being done. It primarily comes from his brain. So it's fascinating that he's really taking Thorfinn on quite the journey from the beginning of season one. Because he could have easily stopped his story and his work at the end of season one and then just had that be the standalone story for itself. But the fact that he's continuing the journey into season two and he's thinking about the ramifications of everything that happened in season
In
one
season one,
and
yes.
then boiling it into this episode,
Yes.
it's crazy. It's crazy. Like this is the kind of works. These are the kind of things that should be studied. like,
Honestly,
like
man,
if you're
bro.
an aspiring author or
Yeah.
storyteller, this is
Oh,
crazy.
it's no, it's borderline flawless. I've yet to see a yeah, it's like I don't know, let me wait for the story to unravel, and then by the end of episode season 2, then I'll be like, all right, let's see what would I change or something like that. But yeah, it's
Mm,
wow, it's a masterpiece actually, because I love
mm,
depth. Like I love anything that's intricate, anything that's layered, because it's mentally stimulating, like to me. So
wow.
to be conveying stuff through things that might appear to be like, what is that? The dude's just down. Like, who are these zombies grabbing him? But to give all these like meaning, nah, that's beautiful. That is very beautiful. And this is why we
Mm,
watch these kind of shows, bro. This is why we
mm.
watch Tenet. We watch Tenet, bro. This is
Actually,
why we watch The Village.
uh,
All right, all right, crazy shit. We love M
uh,
Night, except for Avatar, but M Night.
except for Avatar.
And
Uh,
yours truly, the one and only, comes into play, Mr. Askeladd.
so okay, hold on before because that is that's also fucking crazy. But okay, but wait. There's so like as Thorfinn falls down on the rocks and he's desperately trying to hold on to something. Did you hear how? Well, I'm sure you've noticed, but the way that they showed you him banging into the walls as he fell down. You
Mm-hmm.
remember that? That was
I remember
crazy.
that.
Like that was crazy. Like this is more than just it's that's very visceral. They show
Yeah.
you his vision blanking out as he hits a rock like it would happen in real life. You hear the
Mm-hmm.
sounds, you see his vision tumble as he falls. It's and then the way he desperately grabs onto the
Clang
rock and
on.
his nails start bleeding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. They went so crazy with that. When I saw that, I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god. I was like, fuck, man. I don't
It
know.
was a
I
bit
don't
too
know if
lucid. Yeah.
I don't know if I could take this. That was a lot. That was a lot. That was going on. That was painful to watch. And
Yeah.
then and then he after all that tumbling, he reaches the base of the cliff and he looks down to see a sea of skeletons. They were clad in armor, fighting in a sea of blood, and he questions if this place is Valhalla.
Right.
Dude. All right. So let me think. Let me see how. So you okay? In in season one, you remember the ending song where there was a Valkyrie, or do you
Bro.
remember the second season, the second ending in season one?
Bro. You know I don't, Christian. You know I don't. But go ahead. Sing it for
I
us. You
thought
have a
you were gonna
lovely
say,
voice.
dude.
Just,
No. I
Sakageo.
wouldn't.
Sakageo. I'm kidding. That's
I
not the
I
title.
would I would damage the beauty that is that song and that ending. I
Man.
would never want to do that. But this visual of Valhalla, it hits me so hard because of the ending song in season One, the second ending song. No, it's a big part of why it hits me so hard, because in that ending song, we see the Valkyrie soaring through the sky on a horse, like a woman on a horse, and she's scouting for warriors who die in battle and who are worthy of being taken to Valhalla. So this majestic, this awe-inspiring, it's like breathtaking, dignified vision that we're shown in the ending is the mythos. It's the legend that sings warriors to sleep, right? Like it imbues them, this image, it imbues them with courage during a battle. And it's a vision that people like Thorkel dedicate their existence to. This idea of, if you kill someone in battle, you'll be taken to Valhalla. Or if you die
Right.
fighting, you'll be taken to Valhalla. And also, this idea of a promised Neverland takes many different forms throughout the show.
Bro,
So for
stop.
Thor's and
Stop.
Thorfinn, it's Vinland. For Askeladd, it was Avalon. For Canute, it was the kingdom of God. And then for
Bro.
warriors, it was Valhalla. So
Bro,
these are
stop.
all supposed to be paradises because of the course, of the show. That's how they've been built up in the show. And even though it's a dream, I think we're pretty much supposed to assume that what we're seeing, this sea of carnage, is Valhalla. So this plot twist of seeing what was supposed to be a warrior's heaven when in reality it's actually hell, it shook me to my core when I saw it, man. It was so I never expected this out of Vinland Saga. I never expected to ever get a glimpse into what Valhalla would look like because I thought it was like heaven. It's like they're not gonna. This is a very realistic show. It's based in reality. They're not gonna take the camera and go up into heaven and show you what it looks like. Neither would they do that for hell or Valhalla or whatever. So I never expected to get a visual for what Valhalla would look like, and one that is so meticulously crafted, and because you could see Bjorn ravaging amongst the skeletons, and then you look over, like Thorfinn looks over to the right, and then he sees Askeladd perched on a pillar that's towering above the carnage. Oh man, dude, this was. I got a little teary eyed, like a little bit when I saw it. I just this blew me away. The direction that they took this.
I believe
Never in a
you.
million years would I thought we'd get something like this.
I
I thought it was
wholeheartedly
always
believe you.
gonna be like, yeah, like I thought it was always gonna be just like we understand that Thorfinn's going through a lot. We understand his trauma, but for them to visualize his trauma like this, oh my,
Hmm.
oh my god, man, fuck me, dude, fuck me,
Christian, that is shorts
fuck
worthy, by the way.
me.
Okay, that's enough. Stop it.
Just,
It's just- like, bro, I'm
uh,
adding that to the shorts. That was beautifully done. Yes, it's just I didn't even say a word. I was
uh,
literally just I had to stop and just take it all in. Like, you
dude,
know
I
what?
have a
Let me
headache,
just
man.
have a headache.
Oh my god,
An
this guy,
ulcer
he's too
from Vinland
good. He's
Saga.
too good.
He's so good.
He's too
No, that's
good, man.
it's yeah. Oath did it for me too, man. But it's nice
Ah,
to your perspective, of course, the correlation, how it ties into how everyone's idea of Valhalla, their hope.
yeah.
Yeah. Christian, don't worry. I'm
Ah.
creating that short for you. That's your short. That's yours. Woo!
Oh man. Man, one day I would love to have I would love to just create a story that could be 1/50th of the the masterpiece that this is, dude. Oh
Christian,
my god.
you have the privilege of being around one of the sharpest minds. Christian, I'll give you a story, bro. It's all good. Or we'll take one of your three dreams. We'll polish it up and strengthen it. But
oh man.
that is true.
No, but really though, stuff like this does make me want to write stories.
No
It's
shit.
so inspiring.
It
Like
really is.
and you too as well, right? All right. Like I already know
Of course.
you get inspired with this stuff.
Oh,
Absolutely insane.
dude, I'm so picky. I don't know,
Mm.
man. It's insane. My I don't know. My brain sometimes, even my girlfriend, some shows are watching. He's like, we get it, let it go. It's like just the tiniest of things like bothers me if a writer allows it to be in there, and I'm just like,
Mm.
that doesn't make sense. But yeah, the story so far did not do it, man. It's like how The Last of Us, how it was like at the end of the Bill and Frank one. That's episode 3. Um,
Hmm.
sure, I guess I'll put it there. Yes, if you're watching this on YouTube, episode 3 will be up there. But yeah, I was mad at first because I'm like, where's the radio scene? Like, why is that not here? The radio that
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Joe heard. And then they get to the basement, and the reason the radio because it wasn't even calibrated, and I was like, yes, thank you. There's a reason.
Validation. Yes.
Oh, it's great. Nah, it's some dope stuff, man. Vinland Saga is
Hell
beautiful
yeah.
writing. Beautiful writing.
Hell
Lots of
yes,
symbol.
dude.
They go deep into the slave theme. This
They
freaking
go
episode.
crazy. Holy
Oh,
shit.
these people are slaves to so much, man. This dude's a slave to his past. Just
Hmm. Slave to his
uh,
past, slave to
scarred
revenge.
revenge.
Oy, oy, oy.
Yeah, man. We see Askeladd,
And
bro. He
yeah,
says
no.
you're already back here again.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. So okay. See, now this is another thing, man.
Talk your shit, man. Go ahead. This is your episode, Christian. Shine. Daddy chill.
see this. See this one. This is clearly a dream, right? So it's not like he's actually talking to Askeladd. But then he says stuff like that, like you're here again, and it makes you think, well, okay, is this actually a dream, or is he really somehow crossing the boundaries between dream and actual Valhalla? And I
Mm,
don't think there's a right answer to this. I don't have an answer as to whether or not this might just be a mix. It might be parts of it might be a dream, but then who knows, right? Parts of it might actually be Askeladd talking to him, depending on how crazy the ideas that they're playing with are. I have no idea. It could be that Thorfinn's subconscious is just creating a version of Askeladd that he knows like how that version would respond to him if he was in this scenario, or it could actually be Ask. I have I have no idea. I have no idea, but
or
yeah, like yeah, okay. I want to know what you think about what this means because they've perplexed me deeply with it.
Valhalla, right? Where soldiers go when you die.
Hmm.
Thorfinn, a big part of him, died when Askeladd did. The revenge that he felt that left him empty. So maybe for that reason, his subconscious
Mm.
was in Valhalla, which is why he had nightmares every night of fighting. What are those guys doing down there? They're fighting. Again, that's all subjective.
Ooh. Ooh.
Bro, daddy chill.
Wait,
Just-
wait, man.
Christian, you're in the presence of one
Oh
of the greatest minds of the
shit, really? Where is it? No, I'm kidding.
Oh
Oh.
man. Listen, that's what's good about beautiful storytelling, man. It can be the door is open to be interpreted in so many different ways. It's beautiful.
I like that though. So part of
Of
him
course.
died, and
Yeah.
that's why. Whoa. Okay. I need to digest it a little bit.
I understand, Christian. I understand. It's some heavy gumbo. Had some heavy mufungo. Mufumbo. I had that. Where did I have that in Puerto Rico or Colombia? Where did I have that? No, I don't think it was Colombia.
Fungo. That's a
Mufung.
drink.
It's mashed plantains and sauce and meat all together. So heavy. Ugh.
Whoa. I've never
Yeah.
had plankton's.
Tree
Entire
fungo
life.
or me fungo. Ugh, I'm butchering this and I shouldn't because it tasted so good. You know what? Out of respect for that food, I'll not mention it until I learn how to say it properly. Yeah, it's mashed plantains and other good stuff. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Did we? No, we didn't
So
have that in Thailand. No. In Greece, dude,
fungo.
has Slovakia in Greece. Oh my goodness, that was so good. And
Slovakia.
Mykonos,
These are
yes,
some crazy
but,
names.
but made from a Greek man. Like we took a cooking class and we got to eat that. Oh,
Oh, that sounds cool. Cooking
dude,
class.
Christian,
Damn.
I planned the trip, bro. If I plan it, there's gonna be dope activities involved. You know this, dude. I take you to one of my trips. You went to Thailand with me, bro. Don't be surprised. You went flying in the air, that paramotor activity, bro. What you saw?
Fair enough.
Daddy, chill.
Fair enough.
All right. It's crazy stuff. But yeah, man, it's
uh,
some sick stuff. But yeah, Askeladd, bro, for a
mm,
fact. Yeah, it manifests so many different things. That you're here already. This is where all the shits winds up. This is where all the This is where all the warriors wind up.
mm,
That's why there's constant
mm.
war, and everyone is your enemy. The foil of what? No one is your enemy. So
Right.
it's like
The exact opposite of what Thor's was saying.
to take this biblically, because
Crazy.
I read my Bible, great, crazy shit. What happened when Cain killed Abel? God's face turn his back. He was casted out of the garden. So from him being in a place that Thor's would never be, because Thor's was just not that kind of man anymore. That's the thing, anymore. So he's being told things, he's seeing things that are the complete foil, very perpendicular to what his dad was telling him. Because you're no longer in the presence of your dad, because your dad represents Vinland. You are in hell with the most cruel, as you put it, man, warmonger, Askeladd. So it's just, but anyway, that's just my
Mm.
interpretation. But it's just like, bro, man, no,
That's
these writers do it for me, man. This is all I can watch, Christian. I can't watch subpar shit. It's just
yeah, this show sets the bar so high. It's
uh,
crazy, man. It's insane. It's hard to go back to shows that are of
bro,
lesser quality once
what
you
do you
watch
think I
this
watch
one.
Billions, bro? Oh my goodness, Christian. I have no one to talk to about season 7 except for my girlfriend. Thank you for her soul. But oh my goodness, nobody to talk to
Uh,
about season 7. Chuck Rhodes is doing it again.
okay, I forget where I left off on
Dude,
Billions.
don't even talk about it. That's just a betrayal. Let's just get back to Vinland Saga, bro.
No, but once I pick it up again, I'll remember. It's
Mm.
just I think it was the end of season
One,
3 or
you didn't make
4.
it past season 2. Get the fuck out.
No,
You finished
I
season
definitely
1.
did.
Yes, you
I
did, Christian. I
definitely did.
vividly remember. I remembered because I cried that night. I said, "How dare he only
No,
finish season
no.
1?"
I remember that Oscar or not Oscar, Bobby Axelrod,
Axelrod,
he Axelrod, he lost against
Chuck
Chuck.
Rhodes.
Yes, he had his first true loss against him. Was that?
Dude,
Trying to think if that was the end of season 3 or season 4.
I don't think you
I'm
made
not
it that
sure.
far, bro. But if you think you did, power to you.
I
It
did.
is what it
I
is.
did.
Crazy shit, man.
uh, yeah. So Thorfinn, he right after Askeladd says, oh no, sorry, you already covered that. Um, so yeah, do you remember Thorfinn used to live here with us? But for better or for
Mm-hmm.
worse, you became empty, and then you gave your perspective on that, which is brilliant. I'm gonna run with that. That part of his subconscious died when
The
he became
hate.
empty. Yeah,
Yes.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I knew you
So,
would,
and
Christian.
that's
I knew you
why
would, but go on.
he said that's why you were able to escape this place because not
Exactly.
you're lucky. Not many men ever manage to escape. And
Exactly.
when he said that, the small blade, this was a nice touch too. When he said you
Oh,
became empty, the
oh,
small
yep.
blade it falls towards
Yes.
the sea of blood, and then
Yes.
the slave life of Thorfinn is reflected in the blade as it happens.
Yes. It's
Oh
leaving
man,
him. Like I'm disconnected from that side. Like I am
yeah,
lifted of that burden. Oh, I can't,
yeah, and that's the
bro. I
second time it
can't.
happened too.
That's the
It
second
happened
time.
at
End of
the
season 1. Yes,
yeah,
as he's getting held
yeah.
back when watching Askeladd die, and he drops
So
it.
he always carries two blades, dude. So the end of season 1, that's him dropping the first blade, and then here, that's like him dropping the second blade.
No, that's the same blade.
No, because he always carries two blades, right?
He always carries him. That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So we're getting that second drop here. I mean, of course, like
Mm-hmm.
symbolically, we're getting the
Mm-hmm.
second drop
Mm-hmm.
finally.
Mm-hmm.
But oh man, and then after that, Askeladd says, "I shouldn't be saying this as the man who dragged you here, but you're lucky, right? Like not many men ever manage to escape, and you were once filled with the idea of being a warrior, but then you were emptied out, like you said." And then he said, "What's inside you now?" And then he flashes back to, or not flashes back. He remembers in reality how he just punched a guy, punched the retainer in the mouth and broke his jaw. And then he said,
Yep.
"I'm still a warrior because I struck someone in a fit of rage. That's why I'm back here, and that's why I still reside in this place." Mm. So when did you form that perspective that part of his subconscious died? Like, was there a line that, because there's so many lines here, like, was there a moment that inspired that thought?
As soon as he said you're back here again, I said again. What do you mean again? So I'm like, wait, that means he's here. Here is just war and fighting. He have nightmares of him
Mm.
fighting every night. So I'm like, okay, I understand. Again, I understand from my point of view, like my lenses. Someone else might decipher this in a whole perpendicular way, but yeah, it's that's what I thought actually. Yeah,
Mm.
this is not foreign to him. This sight, which it isn't, he sees it in his dream, his nightmares every night. But
Yeah.
but that's a subconscious channeling that hate. Well, no, that's not hate. That's just guilt. Yeah, guilt brings him there every night. Yeah, and
Mm.
because the hate's not there, he said it because I have no one to hate. Like, and that's the problem. I don't have the hate. Because of that, I'm just left like an empty vessel, but I'm carrying the guilt, the burdens.
Mm.
It's crazy.
Sheesh, man.
Mind blown.
And then Askeladd, he's he's kind of like poking fun at him a little bit. He's like, oh, me. It's like, good grief, a little soul
Right.
searching is all well and good, but try to keep your eyes open. And then he said something terrifying is right beneath your feet. And then we see a tower made of corpses that are just climbing over each other to reach
Mm-hmm.
Thorfinn. Have you ever seen the movie World War Z?
That's Brad Pitt. That's the one Brad Pitt movie I've never seen, actually. It's insane. I've seen all the other
Mm,
good ones, bro.
mm.
Literally all the other good ones. Just that one.
Every time I see this like tower of people of like thing or not, I don't know, like these creatures climbing over each other and forming a tower, I always think of World War Z.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm surprised. Are you a fan of Brad Pitt? I don't know if you are.
Uh Christian, I literally told you that his latest movie made my top 20. The train movie, The Assassin. Wait, was that you? I told this. Who did I tell this? Did you watch
Huh?
this
You
new
never did.
movie, The Train? No, that was my girl, not you. I was like, yeah, that was a good movie. I
Yeah,
watched that on
Bullet Train.
Bullet Train. Yes, I was like, that's good.
Yeah.
Um, his character as a whole, like a killer who's trying to turn in a new leaf. It's just like, but they're not allowing this man. This man doesn't even want to kill.
It's very
Like,
goofy.
Troy was great. The movie where he plays the devil, that movie's good too. um Benjamin Button, that was a very good movie. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, that
Oh,
everybody
I
knows
always wanted to
that.
watch Benjamin Button.
Benjamin
I
Button's
gotta see that.
beautiful. The makeup artist, either makeup artist or CGI, when they made him 17, whatever that is, they beautifully did that. Yeah, Brad Pitt have, oh, Sleepers, Christian.
Sleepers. That sounds like a
I
psychological movie.
I alluded to Sleepers in The Last of Us episode 1 toward the end, and the link will be up top if you're watching this shit on YouTube, of course. Yeah, I alluded to that. Sleepers, bro. Boys that get freaking raped in this
Oh,
correction
right,
facility. Oh
right,
my goodness. And the
right.
trauma that the way that ruined the courses of their adulthood. Like they all end up just messed up, Christian. Brad Pitt still can't sleep with the light off, bro. Oh my goodness, because the guard would come in as, bro, sleepers, Christian.
That sounds
All
like a
right,
dark movie though. Sounds very
fam.
dark.
Oh, the repercussion in sleepers is the same as changing lanes. I think changing lanes. Ben Affleck and Samuel Jackson. As in, like, one simple act can change the course of someone's life. Like, this was supposed to be a stupid prank that ended up sending a man to the hospital. So these four kids end up going to juvie or a correction officer. A stupid prank, bro. Changing lanes, a car bumping accident just changed the course of Ben Affleck and Samuel Jackson's life. Was having issues with his wife. Just, the butterfly effect, bro. The butterfly effect. Ashton Kutcher. All right, I can't stop. Stop, Pierre. Stop. Ooh.
And you got a lot of movies swimming around in that head. That's crazy.
Well, Christian, top tier. That's all I watch. Rich Gang. But yeah, it's crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff.
Yeah. And so yeah, so Askeladd, he humorously he looks over at Thorfinn. He's like wailing in fear as these bodies are climbing up to try to get him. He's like kicking them away, And Askeladd is like, shouldn't you lend an ear to their complaints? And then
Mm.
Thorfinn, he tells Thorfinn to look a little closer because that they're
Mm.
all people that he killed. So
Yep.
the realization that he can't remember where or when he killed any of them, and that they cry as they reach out for Thorfinn. Like tears are falling from their eyes, and then it hits him, and his this realization hits him, and his fear is replaced by a deep, calming sadness, and he just lets himself be grabbed. And Askeladd, he just silently watches as Thorfinn starts to have a really deep cry again, and he apologizes. And Askeladd's face, it's a good word to describe it. Like he's not mocking Thorfinn, he's not laughing at him, he's observing him. He's just quietly watching him. Ah,
And then he says, "No time to cry. You don't end up back here. Even though they're hanging on, climb. That's your battle."
yeah, and so another thing before that too, like he sees as Thorfinn is crying, like skeletons from below, they start firing arrows at him, and
Mm-hmm.
this uh Askeladd, once he sees that they're firing arrows, he jumps down the pillar and cuts down these skeletons that are firing at them. They were
Yep.
interrupting Thorfinn's moment of self-reflection, and Askeladd took issue with that. Like that's a very like Askeladd is looking out for Thorfinn in
Mm-hmm.
that moment, which is big, man. That's huge.
That is
Because
true.
Askeladd, of course, we know in season one, he was very harsh with Thorfinn. Like
Yep.
if Thorfinn was about to die, he'd say, "Oh, all right, sorry, kid, I'm out." And then the last moments he had with Thorfinn, he was more of a fatherly figure. And then it's continuing here. He's guiding Thorfinn. He's still having that position of like a fatherly figure. And
Right.
it also ties into that moment a couple minutes prior where he was just staring at Thorfinn crying. It's like if that really was Askeladd, like that'd be him assessing what's the next best thing to tell Thorfinn in this moment, so that he can,
Mm.
recover from this situation and get back on track. So good, man. And then yeah, like as he's killing the skeletons, then he says what you said. Even if they're hanging off of you, just keep climbing, climb because that's your battle. That's your
That's your
true
battle.
fight.
He said, "Go
Uh,
take the people you killed with you because that's your
yeah.
battle." When he said this, Christian, I
Mm,
immediately found a correlation with NF, bro. NF's
really.
whole current thing, and not current, it's always, it's not whole. NF talks about, tackles a bunch of deep things, but one of the main one, the core ones, is how your burdens. But he's not running away from his. He's learning to live with them. Like even the album, The
Yeah.
Search, the cover of the album, The Search, like the balloons are hanging on to him, like in Clouds. We see it again in the second in the album Clouds. The song Lost with Hobson. The balloons are still there. Like these dark clouds, that's my residence. like I'm not running away from them. Like my problems are there, but I'm learning to live with them. It's like we're all gonna
Mm,
have problems. Like we have that, but we need to push forward. So when he tells Thorfinn, you better go, take your problems with you. That's your battle. That's what's gonna make you a true warrior. I'm like, bro, if this is not NF, I don't know what is. Just like, oh, crazy stuff,
mm,
man. Crazy stuff. But yeah,
mm.
and he freaking jets out. Like my boy went Super Saiyan out. I was like, bro, uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He got a newfound determination
mm,
to get the hell out of there. And
yeah,
then he wakes up and his body is upright and his arms are reaching out to the sky as he wakes up from the
right.
dream.
That shows you how
Oh
lucid that was.
man.
Like he literally wakes up in the
Yeah.
position that his body was as he was going up. Dude, that was very, bro. Yeah, that was too close to reality of a dream.
Yeah, right. Uh,
And of course, he look at his hands. Like notice that the reaction with his hands is not the reaction he had before. Like he's understanding that this is a part of me now that people have killed. Because if you remember episode 2 or 3, he wakes up, look at his hand, he's crying, the guilt. Wake up, look at
mm,
his hand, and he understand. Okay, they're a part of me now. I need to move forward. You look at Aner, like, oh shit, Aner on the ground. It's like, oh, that's I can't, man. Too much shit, bro. But yeah,
mm,
Aner can't even talk, but he's like, we won the fight, which is a small win, and a lot of shit's coming from that win. But still, he's like, we won the fight. uh, as he's carrying him, Einar is contemplating. Well, contemplating is a positive connotation. He's basically wallowing in the sorrow, the hardship. That's their reality, their new reality. Like, bro, we're in debt, like because we don't have to borrow more seeds to grow. The wheat is a ruin. We can't sell that shit. I'm a mess, and we'll be punished for what just happened. And Thorfinn
Mm.
start crying, bro. Bro, shit. It's like I hit a person. I've already been killing, and today I hit a person. But you know what? It ends today. I'll never hurt again, and that's his newfound fight. Just like when some a former alcoholic, you're sober. Like, hey, I've been sober. It's been 5 years. It's been 10 years. That's a win, but it's a fight for that person. So when he says it ends
Right.
today, I'll never hurt again. I'll never hurt again. That's the start of his fight. Like his sobriety
Yeah.
against inflicting pain starts today, which is his new fight, which is his new warrior purpose. Bro, Christian, this is a short.
Mm.
This is a short. This is a YouTube short. Oh,
It makes me wonder too. Like, is Thorfinn truly just not gonna fight for the
I know, right?
remainder of the
Bro, if
the
this if
show?
this motherfucker doesn't pick up a knife, I'm dropping this like in three
No,
more reactions.
you know, like I this it's crazy how it would make me so happy if Thorfinn truly just like stopped fighting, and then the main if there was a fight, it'd be like probably Einar or maybe Snake, or because we got a lot of badasses in the show.
We got a
Like
lot of badasses. Thorfinn can take a take a
Thorfinn,
take a seat for the season. We'll
yeah,
bring him back when he's needed.
yeah, yeah.
And when he says that, that's what I meant when I got confused. After he says, I'm reborn and I'm going to start atoning for what I've done, that's acceptance, which I love. That's the only way to repent. Like even in a biblical standpoint, you acknowledge what
Mm,
you've done, you repent for it, you vow to never do it again. Like Psalm 51, like David got one of his warriors killed so he can smash his wife. He realized what he did is wrong. he he asked God for forgiveness for it and vowed to never do that again. That's why a bunch of people can never like fully repent, or even like cheating. People that don't acknowledge that it's wrong, that you've hurt someone, and then to not do it again. Like you skip that part. Of course, you're bound to do it again because it's significance to lead you to a true repent, to a true like rebirth. The proper steps weren't taken, bro. That's another short. All right, Christian, two shorts back to back.
oh man, he's killing it. He's
uh,
killing it.
crazy stuff. But then that's when he sees his dad walk away, meaning my work is done here. Like, son, you've learned. I can go now. Just that's what I thought. That's when he saw Thor's
Uh-huh.
back.
Uh-huh.
But again, that's subjective. Someone else might see it and think something else.
Hmm. Man, Thorfinn, he's gonna fight his true battle. He's
Yeah.
gonna fight his true battle, and then we find out because I was worried what their punishment would be. And this is the final part of the episode. I thought they were gonna be in some really deep shit since
Yeah.
they were slaves and they did what they did, but
Pater come
turns
through.
out
Yeah.
Patter,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and they're
Came
scot
through.
free.
And
No
Kettle came
punishment.
through too, even more. Like,
Kettle, yeah.
he's like,
Yeah,
yeah, you
yeah,
know what? New story. We're gonna say the farm was ravaged by wild boars and there was no fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tell Pater, bro, like I like what you're doing and all that. It's aligned with who I am as a person, but bro, you're not afraid because these retainers, like they're your coworkers. So you're not afraid that these
Mm.
motherfuckers might gang up on you or get you ostracized and whatnot. And he's like, well, I used to be a slave, so it's all good. As in, I'm repping the ones that started from the bottom with me, which is something that a lot of people don't do in this world. Like so many
Mm.
like people get put in positions of power and completely forget their beginning and start to persecute the people that they used to be. Like it's
Yeah, yeah.
Christian, that's another short. Three shorts back to back.
Oh man,
You got
damn,
wordy stuff too. I peep one of yours. It's all good. That's all good, bro.
damn.
But yeah, back on the farm, Gramps is showing them the proper way to use the hoe. Pause.
Whoa.
He's like, hey, apply less force.
You gotta be careful
Interesting.
with these kind of words in
Yeah.
this kind of show.
Uh, uh,
Yeah.
uh,
And
yeah.
yeah, that's the end of the episode, man.
And
That's the
Thorfinn
end.
gets up and just give this nice sign of hope, new beginning shit as he's using the hoe.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. He's determined. He's going to spend the rest of his life in atonement at
Using
this
that
point.
hoe.
Jesus. Oh man. When is Thorfinn gonna get a
Girlfriend?
get a lady friend? You know,
Yeah, he's asexual.
because
I don't know, man. Like it's.
Einar
Mm.
he already has a girl.
I'm telling you, Anor has been 500 days of summer. Anor not going anywhere. Bro, crazy stuff. But yeah, bro. All right. What else do you have to say, Christian? What else do you have to say?
I have nothing. What else do
That's
you have
good.
to
I
say,
have nothing
Peter?
too. I have completely nothing. I'm going to sleep. All right, it's been real. Just-
All right,
all right, until
it's
next
been
time.
real. All right,
Bye. Bye. Bye.
bye.